Sometimes the preferred method of pest plant control is to apply herbicide to cut stumps at an interval after the work has been done. In this area, a volunteer work party cut these honeysuckle bushes about 2 weeks ago. Then we have scheduled our full-time staff to come in next week to apply an herbicide. Because of the delay in the cutting, the tissue is healed over and you can't use a water-based herbicide any longer. So today we're going to be using an oil-based herbicide, triclofer, similar to the chemical that we used on the invasive bark application on the black locust stems. There's a variety of reasons that we want to schedule it that way, because we don't want the volunteers or members of the public to be involved in an herbicide activity. It's just an increased risk that someone will contact the herbicide, no matter how carefully the herbicide applicator does his work. In this case, the volunteers did a really good job of cutting the stems at an appropriate height where it's convenient for the applicator to dribble the herbicide on. It doesn't take much herbicide, just enough to cover the cut surface. With this particular species, honeysuckle exbella, it's a hybrid, you need to apply herbicide to each and every stem because the herbicide doesn't move through this plant very thoroughly. Any untreated stems will not be killed. The volunteers, for the most part, did a really good job of cutting the stems level with the ground so that the herbicide sits on the cut surface. This stem is an example of not how to cut a stem. I can't safely apply herbicide to this vertical surface. The herbicide would run off and contaminate the soil. I can't apply it to this level cut. And because this is the same chemical we used on the basal bark application, I will just make a basal bark application to this honeysuckle trunk. And applying it to the one stem is enough signal with the blue dye to my coworkers, other staff, and the public that herbicide has been applied in this area. The herbicide mix that I'm applying this morning contains the active ingredient herbicide. It's mixed with an oil-based carrier, a commercially prepared carrier, plus a colored dye designed to be used in herbicides. The purpose of the dye is to indicate to me stems that I've already treated. When I see the blue or discoloration of the stem, I know I've treated it. It's also a signal to my coworkers, staff, and members of the public that this has been an herbicide application area and that they should stay out. We will also post this area with federally approved herbicide warning signs. It will be up for 48 hours, indicating that this area has had herbicide applied, and a telephone number that people can contact if they have questions about what we've done, or why we've done it, or how we've done it. As always, when applying herbicides, wear protective gear. Cut the stems several inches above the ground and make the cuts parallel to the ground. This is for safety reasons and to enhance the absorption of the herbicide into the stem. If you're applying the herbicide, say within 30 minutes of the cutting, you can use a water-based herbicide. If the application is in a longer interval than 30 minutes, use an oil-based herbicide. Mix a colored dye with the herbicide so that the stems are apparent to your coworkers, staff, and the public. Apply the herbicide to every cut stem. A nice benefit of the cut stump treatment is that you can time the application to take place after volunteers have done the cutting, and professionally trained staff is available to apply the herbicide.